Nice. Alright. So yeah, if you got your plane properly set up, you should be able to pull a rather consistent shaving like this. Alright, we are about to insert the plane into the body now, and I want to just take a quick shot of the two blades that we are using today. This smaller one is the one that I just did. I did this in the morning, but I didn't film it as I wanted to concentrate. And as you can see, they're both done to the same grit, 2000. And I'm not sure if you can tell on camera, but the bigger blade has a bit of a camber to it. It is not a perfectly flat blade. It has maybe about like a 250 microns just a paper's thickness of camber in it. That's going to show up on the cut later when you see, whereas this one is a bit straighter. Alright, gonna put it in the body. See you. Okay, so we're done with the sharpening. We're gonna do the setup for the plane now. So you can see this is the blade sharpened already, and here is the body. Okay, I'm gonna show you how to put it all together. So you find your chip breaker. You're gonna align them roughly about, say, 5 mm away from each other, and you're just gonna put in together like this. Okay, and you want it to be hand tight. Oops. Okay, just hand tight. Just gonna squish it in with your finger. Okay, you're just gonna push the two things together in with your finger. When you turn it around, you will see that the blade is still, let me zoom in for that. You can see the blade is out, but it's not like out of the body yet. It's still inside. And for this, we're gonna just tap it in with a hammer. So you can see that the blade is not perfectly, it's kind of like swinging it to one side, right? It's kind of tilted to one side. So for that, we're gonna just adjust it in this direction until now you can see it's kind of almost flat. Okay, almost parallel to the brass insert. And then now I'm gonna tap this in. Alright, you can see it's gone out of alignment again, and this is probably because of the wedge not wedging correctly. Okay, back in flat again. Okay, so you can see from this angle here that the blade is kind of parallel to the brass insert. Okay, looking pretty good there. Nice. I'm going to be doing some fine tuning. This is the blade right now feels that it's a little bit out by too much. So when you have it out too much, you're just gonna tap it behind the butt like this. Okay, and you will feel the blade push. You will feel it travel backwards. Okay, now it's starting to feel like a Gillette razor. It's gonna feel like something like a bit of a shaving razor. Okay, you're gonna pop it out only as much as necessary. Of course, if you're gonna be testing your cut with your finger like this, please don't jam your finger down. Okay, it's just a very light touch with your thumb, and you want to just feel that little shaving action. You don't actually want it to shave your thumb. Okay, we're gonna change the camera angle and go straight to planing now. I want to show you the difference between this and the previous attempt. Okay, see you. Okay, so just a quick note on this, the throat size. So the throat is the little gap between the blade and the insert here. In this plane here at the bottom, this doesn't actually have an insert. It's just directly to wood. So you can see this plane has a very small throat. Right, very narrow opening between the blade and the body, and this one has a slightly larger one. And this is actually the key determinant to the size of your shavings. The smaller your throat is, the the better the cut, the thinner a shaving you're gonna be able to pull out. Okay, and we're gonna see if you can notice, you can understand more about this later through the performance. We're gonna do our first test cut on Gelutong here, which is one of the softest and most planing friendly materials you can find, and it's always the first material that I plane before I move on to any more difficult woods, so that I can be more sensitive to any problems in the setup. Okay, alright, so I'm gonna start planing now. Nice. So that was actually the first cut that was taken on this plane since we sharpened it. Gonna do a bit of so you can see, right, the shaving here has a lot more consistency than the previous attempt. I'm gonna just reduce the cut very slightly now and see if we can improve the make it cut a bit of a thinner shaving. One more. Alright, rather nice nice shavings here, but you can see the shaving falls into two, right, due to the fact that we have a little chip in the middle. So the shaving is not going to be able to come out as a single piece, as there's a little line in the middle that's not cutting. I'm going to draw a few more cuts here, and hopefully, okay. Comparison with the big plane, which should give you the same performance, just that is wider. And the big plane is not cutting at all. So one of the questions that people would ask always is, what is the optimum plane size? You always want to get a plane that is suitable to the size of your work. The longer a plane is, the more difficult it's going to be to engage the material when it is not perfectly straight. And the shorter the plane is, the more difficult it will be to get the material straight by default. However, given the choice, you should always go for the smaller plane. And when I say smaller, I mean the shorter plane, because a shorter plane can do what a bigger plane can do, but not the other way around. So of course everyone wants one of these at some point in their career because it's so fun to have, right? But you're going to find yourself using this a lot more often than the big one. Okay, I'm going to try and get the shavings coming out. Oh yes, okay, so you can see this paper roll coming out. Okay, hold on. Alright, so yeah, if you got a plane properly set up, you should be able to pull a rather consistent shaving like this. Okay, obviously this could be better, it's not really super thin. We're going to move on to some different materials. I'm going to show you a few variations of planing tests that you could do that will help you to determine if you're ready to go. Okay, so that was Gelutong, on a really white piece of Gelutong. Now I'm going to be planing a bit of 20mm walnut stock, and this is the same block that we used at the start of the video for the benchmarking. So we're gonna see the difference between a sharpened plane and a not so sharp plane. Okay, so not sure if you guys remember how it performed. Much better shaving quality, and it's cutting a bit too deep now, so I'm going to try and reduce the amount of damage, the amount of cut. Bit of adjustment. you can see, this material is much more appropriately sized for this trowel. Okay, one of the key things about planing and the determination of a good quality of cut is whether you need to use momentum to continue the cut. So I'm going to start at the end of the block here. I'm going to enter. I'm going to pull half of this, and I'm going to leave it there, and then I'm going to reset, and I'm going to continue pulling. And in that cut, you should not be able to see a discontinuity in the cut. Okay, and this is one of the key indicators of whether your plane is ready to use. Beyond this, it could get sharper and sharper and more fine-tuned. But if you can't do a stop and a start, right? It means your plane is not sharp enough for regular usage, and it's not tuned properly, because then you have to chong it, you know. So you don't want to have to plane with so much speed and momentum. Okay, you want to be able to go slowly and control it. Okay, so that was a side grain, which honestly is no challenge at all. We don't expect to fail at that. I'm going to change up now. We're going to go to a piece of end grain. I'm going to try and see if this small plane can do some end grain work. Okay, so that was side grain trimming, which is honestly not that difficult, and you will know if your plane is reasonably sharp if you can plane off end grain quite easily. So let's see how that performs. Okay, reasonable. Not super impressed with it, but it does plane. Let's try and tune that out a bit. So you can take a smaller shaving. So you want to be able to plane your end grain shavings at least okay, to consider your plane as being usable. Obviously, end grain is not exactly the best thing to plane, and you probably have a better result with pairing or just with straight sanding, but it is a good check of the readiness of your plane. Alright, so I guess that was it. Hope you guys learned something from this video, and please let me know which are the specific areas that you want me to clarify on with regards to plane maintenance and sharpening, and I would probably take some more time to do a few more of these videos regarding hand planing in the near future. Okay, so see you, and thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye bye.